Let me show you something real fast. You think it's power when you make a threat to someone? Nah. Real power is when somebody crosses you and you're able to look at them and you're able to walk away. That's what real power is. We've been taught by society that power is your reaction. I think power is your response. The difference between a reaction and a response is that little gap in between to where you have an opportunity to regulate your emotions. I was looking at this Sauce Walka and this Drake situation, and I think about, the girl recording the call or how that went. And I'm thinking like, dang, man, he's doing all this talking and she's obviously calm and collected because she knows what's going on. She's saying everything that he's done to her. Think about it if homeboy would have been real vulnerable in that moment. Instead of reacting, talking all this trash, just being real with Shawty and just be like, hey, you know what? That did hurt me what you did, but I'm gonna remove myself from this situation. That's power. Being able to say, yeah, you know what? That kind of hurt me and I don't appreciate that. So I'm gone. That's how a real man handles his business. Now, I'm not here to gossip, but I'm here to show y'all a situation that a lot of us have been in and how to handle it different to where we still keep our manhood and we still vulnerable. But the most important thing that we bring to a situation is ourselves. And once you release that, you have all the power. Nobody says this out loud, so I will. The man who's threatening someone has already lost. He's saying, I don't have more to lose, so I'm going to lose it all. He can't control his emotions on the inside, so he has to project it onto you. He doesn't have control over himself, so he's trying to have control over the situation. To me, I label that as manipulation. But a sovereign man, when I work with men one-on-one and we talk about these things, we get them to understand is you don't have to have control over other people. In real talk, you don't have to have control over a situation necessarily. The one thing that you do need to have control of is your mind, your body, and your spirit. 100. If I think about one of my favorite movies of Training Day, one of my favorite scenes of all time, King Kong ain't got nothing on me. Likely won Denzel Washington an Oscar. But in that moment, that was really when that police officer lost all control and everything started to fall apart. When he was moving in silence, making his moves, he had all the power. But once he became threatened, he started panicking and he lost control of himself. And a lot of us men, we do that daily, on a daily basis, but we don't recognize it. But the people around us do. The people around us, they see that we're not walking as a whole person anymore. They see that we're reacting to them. And as a sovereign man, you respond. A lot of us stop being the man that we were initially in our relationship because we start being scared to lose our partner instead of just walking in the comfort of saying, I'm going to be okay regardless of whatever happens in this relationship. We say we can't be ourselves at our home because our wife won't accept us. Our kids don't want to see this full version of me. But I'm going to be real with y'all. When you have control of yourself, those things don't matter. When you understand that you are the prize, you are the standard, you're not trying to force other people to be you. You're allowing them to be themselves and letting the environment dictate and nurture them in an environment where they can grow and they can emulate your standards and who you are. All right, so I'm going to get clinical for a second, and then I'm going to bring it back full circle. Here's what's happening in the body. Betrayal, disrespect, it hits your ego. It hurts you on the inside. It makes you feel like you're less than, and your body sees it as an attack. And unfortunately, when you feel like you are being attacked, naturally, you want to defend yourself. But when you are a sovereign man and you understand what's going on, you understand that you don't have to react in that moment. You have to have a response. There has to be a gap between what's going on and your response. Most situations are not life or death. So taking time to walk away or think about, okay, this is how I'm going to respond to this situation benefits you more than saying whatever is going on in that moment. Because what's going on in that moment is you trying to defend. When I have conversations with men who constantly feel like they got to over-explain themselves to their girls, to their jobs, or whoever, the thing is you feeling like you having to defend your actions because you don't feel whole. Once you understand the moment and you think about it, like, okay, what is this person saying? Let me not take it personal what they're saying. Let me take it constructively, because they're likely pointing out a weakness or something that they see that I need to work on. Whether I agree with them or not is neither here nor there. But I can take what they're saying because I'm whole and understand, like, all right, cool. I'm going to keep that in my back pocket in case I need to use it. So you don't have to get in fight mode. Fight mode is a choice. When you are grounded, you understand that it's not a real threat. And then when something is a real threat, me lashing out is not going to get me what I want. Me being calm, cool, and collected and thinking about what I'm going to say and how I'm going to handle it, that's how you win. That's how you keep control. And again, we're not trying to control other people. We're not trying to control the situation. We're trying to control us. We're going to be regulated, and we're going to control our mind, body, and our spirit. So here's the reframe of how to carry yourself. I'm going to tell you, real power is quiet. It's not passive. It's not soft. It just doesn't have to be it out loud. It's just carried out through actions. I don't have to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do it, right? Because if I'm telling you, that means, ooh, I want you to be scared. But when I just do something because that's what I'm going to do, that is real power. Power doesn't need to be feared. Power doesn't need to have an audience. Power doesn't need to be seen. It needs to be felt. If you are really walking in power, if you want power, you just got to walk it out. You don't got to tell nobody, and you don't have to prove it to nobody else. If you're whole, if you really are that dude, you just walk it out in your daily life every moment that you can. Compare the two men, the one that said, yo, when I see you, I'm going to fire you. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to spin the block. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Versus the man who just looks, and obviously in a different situation, is saying, okay, bet. And just walks away and moves in silence. And furthermore, that dude that's talking about he going to shoot up the block. Let's think about why he going to shoot up the block, right? Because in that moment, what does he have to lose? If you shoot up the block, you're either going to get shot, and in today's time, you're going to prison. If you think about a man in that situation, how does that benefit you? Oh, I got respect. I did what I had to do. Yeah, but you spend the rest of your life in prison. And if somebody's not actively trying to kill you or hurt you, you lose in that situation. And not only you lose, everybody around you, the people who love you most, they lose because your presence is gone. In that situation, bro, at this point in my life, if somebody threatened my life, number one, I'm likely going to walk away because it's not worth it. Number two, if I had to get the law involved, I'm going to get the law involved. And number three, bro, I'll likely leave a neighborhood and move somewhere else before I feel like I got to walk around with a gun and shoot people or somebody's coming after me. That's just me being real. And that people may feel like that makes me soft. I'm just going to say that makes me smart, because nobody's going to take my life. Nobody's going to mess up my money. And ultimately, my job is to protect me and my family. So I prove my power by leaving and building somewhere else. That's just me being real with y'all. I would love to know what y'all think. Tell me what y'all would do if you live in a violent area where there's a high crime rate and you and your family got to be scared for their lives. I want you to beat it down in the comments what y'all going to do. So the next time somebody tries to pull that anger out of you, here's what I want you to do. First and foremost, you're going to regulate. You're going to think before you react. Remember, there's a reaction and there's a response. In the middle of those two words, space. You're going to give it space. Next, you are going to take a deep breath. One of the most important things that I do, that I teach my clients, is take a deep breath. That's probably one of my go-tos, along with box breathing. You're going to understand, I don't need this moment to be bigger than it actually is. This is just any other moment, so I don't have to respond in the situations. You don't have to make a phone call. You don't have to text nobody. You don't have to tell nobody what you are going to do. You just got to do it. Whatever you feel like you need to do, you got to do it. Now, obviously, if you're in a relationship with someone, you have conversations with them before you just get up and leave. But you don't have to keep threatening it. Once you say it once, you got to act on it. You got to hold your ground. You got to stand on business. I want you to understand the most important thing that you have in your life is peace. If you don't have peace in your life, you're going to be anxious. You're going to be depressed. You're going to feel uneasy. You're going to have all these things. So if you are one of those people right now, number one, you don't have to live that way. If you don't have your peace, I really want you to think about what you're going to do to gain it back. And it's not controlling anybody else. It's working on you. Are you going to go to therapy? Are you going to book a one-on-one call with a masculinity coach? Are you going to be vulnerable with your girl? Are you going to be vulnerable with your kids? Are you going to start journaling? Are you going to start learning coping skills to deal with your anger? What are you going to do for you? Because they're not the problem. The way you're handling situations are. You are not the problem. You likely been told since a jit that you're the problem, or you don't know how to do this, or you don't know how to do that. You're not the problem. There's just skills that you never learned that when you are able to heal and work on those things and develop those skills, you become that man or woman that you're destined to be. And that's real. So to close this thing on out, man, listening to that Sauce Walka and Drake situation, it really brought me back, man, because he was dealing with a girl. Now he got put on blast, and it's easier for us to look on the outside and say, oh, man, he was soft. Look how he handled that situation, man. He had this and this and that. But just being real, a lot of us put in that same position, we'll fold. We'll get mad. We'll talk trash. That's what would have happened. But with a sovereign man, you understand the most powerful thing that you have is your presence. You are the commodity. You are what they want. So I can be vulnerable with a chick if she was to do some stuff like that to me. I found out my girl cheating on me. I can tell her, damn, that hurt. That hurts a lot. That hurts me a lot. But I can also walk away because my presence is the value. If she wants that other man, yeah, it's going to hurt me. But I'm out. Cool. I'm going to go cry. I'm going to go to therapy. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to do everything I got to do. But I'm not going to threaten you about what I'm going to do to you. I'm not going to, and knowing, as you learn, I'm not going to try to beg for you back. If you don't want me, you don't want me. But a lot of us, like I said, you have to live it. Most men aren't going to come down on you and say, oh, you stupid for doing that. You're going to be like, bro, I remember when I did the same thing, bro. I did the same thing, but this is how I would handle it. But ultimately, I got your back. I'm gonna ride with you, but you gotta understand, you gotta have that vulnerability. So you're not trying to control the other woman. You're trying to control yourself. You're gonna go to therapy. You're gonna talk to wise counsel. You're gonna start journaling. You're gonna learn coping skills. You're gonna start working on yourself. You're gonna start building yourself up to revalue yourself and being prepared for whatever happens next in your life. I really hope y'all appreciate this video. My name is Marcus Williams. Peace.